Tom Holtus, Holthus.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Thornburg, and this is Fado Cubed behind me.
This is the Santa Cruz 50. Deception is the name. That's the original name on the boat.
We are on Kinetic 5, TP52, and we're all based out of Vancouver.
Been sailing since I was about 7 years old, and started trying to get onto Transpac cruise when I was about 13 or 14.
And when all the boats fill in as time goes on, as the days go on, when all of these are full of Transpac boats and it's just a big buzz of energy, it's pretty cool. And I always wanted to do that, Katie. Since I was a little kid, I've wanted to do that since I was 14.
It doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m. and the weather is good, bad, indifferent. There's always somebody here to greet you, a family, a business, whatever it is, and that's what makes it so special.
What intrigues me about offshore racing, or why I enjoy it so much, it's the camaraderie, the friendships you make.
I would definitely do it with the same crew again. All these guys are great. They're very nice. They're like family to me now. And you know, honestly, I feel fine putting my life in their hands.
Shows you a lot about the sport and the type of people that we have in the sport. That there's some incredible kinship, camaraderie.
Oh, it's a huge honor, especially an honor to sail with these guys. The boat is perfect and the crew is just extraordinary.
So it's a 50-foot boat and you're at sea for 10 days. Sometimes it feels like the boat gets a little smaller every day, but when you keep the crew working hard like we did, and especially when you're standing coming up, morale improves. Everybody's working hard, you're working toward a goal, so.
And this time I'm doing it with 4 great guys who, you know, we are friends now and we'll continue to be friends hopefully when we get to Honolulu.
Hopefully.
I'm sure we will.
So Frank is the owner of the Visible Hand, and he and I had bigger boats. He had a 63-foot Rykel Few, I had a 65, and so we went against each other then, and it was a lot of fun. And same thing with the Pac 52s. We built our boats together, went through the build process in New Zealand, and now we've been competing against each other, and it's a lot of fun.
The last couple of weeks have been absolutely crazy.
I bet.
So everything that possibly could go wrong has gone wrong.
There was a scare with a fire on the boat. We had to get through, and that was pretty good. I was skippering at that time.
I mean, the accelerations and decelerations, we crash into waves, you'll go flying across the boat if you're not hanging on. Like in the Transpac record, we had a guy on board break 2 ribs, hitting, like just getting thrown inside the boat.
About 1,000 miles out of Long Beach at about 1 a.m., somewhere around that at that time frame, we heard a big bang, and then another big bang right behind it. It appears that we hit a big crate of wood, because today when the diver dove the boat, found about 8 feet long remnants of wood in our kelp cutters.
So we're mid-ocean, we're about 1,000 miles offshore. Hawaii is somewhere that way. And it's fucking beautiful up here, team. Look at this. Top of the mast right there.
I'm Michael St. Aldwyn, and I am on the boat Zephyr, which we sailed over from England to participate in the Transpac race.
I think it was about day 4. We're on a night watch and the waves were massive and the wind was being all over the place, and it was probably the hardest sailing I'd ever done, and I was almost having a tantrum, just being like, I can't do this! And then just got told by one of my crew on watch, just being like, doesn't matter, just drive! And then suddenly everything changed and just went, okay, you know what, I can do this and I have to do this and this is gonna happen. And I think that was a really great moment.
one of the great races, and the boat we have is built for this race. So we've been building up to this race for 4 years, and so this was the culmination to make a few changes to the boat. I'm happy with the way we sailed the boat. Sometimes you go out in the water and you know it's just not your race. We seem to have went a little different course early on, and the first thing that happens is we hit a hole. We had 6 knots less wind for 20 minutes, and it seemed to just continue that pace. And it was a highly competitive class. It's not easy to stay with the leaders. There were some extremely talented teams in the top of our division, like Pyewacket and Catapult, and I don't know if anybody had a more solid crew than Merlin.
We're all Santa Cruz 50s or 52s, and there are 10 of us that are either 50 or 52 feet made by the same builder. They're not new boats, they're older boats, but they're still thought of as being one of the best boats to go to Hawaii on. And this is also a special year because Bill Lee, the designer and builder of all these Santa Cruz boats, Merlin was the first prototype that he had, and he is in this race in the old Merlin that has been restored and fixed up. It's a special year for Santa Cruz boats and for Bill Lee's legacy.
He gambled his whole life on building the Merlin, and in the very first Transpac set a record that ended up making his business life and his whole life for him. No, he's our captain, there's no doubt about it, and he's going to be our navigator this year. And we stuck him in a very difficult role in that particular instance.
I'm here.
40 years ago.
40 years ago I was here. Original keel was an 8.5-foot draft, kind of a Peterson style keel. The lead wasn't in a bulb. The new keel is 10.5 feet, 8,700 pounds in the bulb, much stiffer. The rudder is very deep, high aspect, vastly superior, and the boat's clearly faster. I mean, there was probably less wind than in '77.
I've just been training a little and practicing on the boat a lot. Just like lifting weights and just like, yeah.
What kind of weights?
Just like barbells and bench press.
Nice. What are we benching these days?
Like 35.
35, nice. Can you show me a gun? Yeah, whoa, bigger than mine.
Our coffee cups have carabiners, and so we can clip them onto the lifelines as we're sailing. So if something comes up, we can still have our coffee. Because otherwise we had cups that were just spilling all over the deck. So that was our big luxury for this year.
That's a big plus. I don't know what I would do if my coffee went overboard. There'd be hell to pay.
The challenge of this event, the rewards of this event, is how well you've navigated the high and the trades and all those 3 races, which it's a different kind of challenge. So that's why we love it so much.
Is this your first Transpac, Evan?
It is my 3rd Transpac.
Uno, yes. This is my first Transpac, yeah.
Yes, first time.
Are you excited?
Excited.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite part of this race?
Finishing.
The clouds start to break up and it gets warmer, but the finish. The finish is the best finish in the world. The sunsets the night before are the best in the world.
Have you been to Hawaii before?
No, it's my first trip to Hawaii. For sure, never been there. Heard it's pretty welcoming place.
I think it exceeded every expectation that I had, I think.
I will strongly consider doing one again. First, I will assess how much money I have left in the bank. I keep on saying I'll never do another delivery home or a Transpac, and here I am again. So, Mai Tais and nice people, man. What else can you ask for?
Alright, let me see, hold on, I got the line, guys, on the foot here. Jim, they say your ruler sucks, but your surfing's impressive and you pass.